and it was an experience, right? And what I've learned is it's a very colorful, as all of them are very colorful. Um, but of all of them, it's one of the more chiller ones or more family oriented, should I say, right?
Oh,
You
definitely.
know? But it was cool though. Like it was cool. The little one, I mean, she probably took a nap probably during the first. I don't know how she did that, but she was out probably for the first like 15, 20 minutes, you know?
Life can be beautiful if you let it.
In the bowl.
Yo, 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 what do you know? Welcome to In the Bowl podcast. I'm your host, Nas.
It's your guy Tallman, live from Dubai.
And as always, In the Bowl podcast is sponsored by your nation's own #1 mobile hookah provider, Sisha TU. But they not only do private events, they do wholesale distribution and take it to that next level. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
What's going on, man? Welcome back to the United States. How you doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Got some sun. You know, feeling real good, man. It's always good when you're able to just to disconnect for a minute and step out, man. So it's so feeling good and refreshed. Rejuvenated. And
Yeah.
all that good stuff. So definitely good. For those that don't know, we just took the family out for a little vacay out there in Aruba. So it was cool, man. Aruba's it's a little different though. I will sit there and say, right, I feel that Aruba it's a beautiful island. But there's a lot that I learned about Aruba while I was there, right? I learned
Okay.
one, I didn't realize how close it was to Venezuela. This thing is 13 miles away. You know,
Yeah.
and I didn't realize how close it was. And another crazy thing is, you know, we as a family were able to experience our first Carnival, and it was an experience, right? And what I've learned is it's a very colorful, as all of them are very colorful. Um, but of all of them, it's one of the more chiller ones or more family oriented, should I say, right?
Oh,
You
definitely.
Um, but it was cool though. Like it was cool. The little one, I mean, she probably took a nap probably during the first. I don't know how she did that, but she was out probably for the first like 15, 20 minutes, got her peace and then got her rest, and then she was all about it. You know what I'm saying? She woke up, most people put like earmuffs on folks and loud music,
Yeah.
and maybe that's just us as parents, but she was just engulfed in it. Like she enjoyed the colors, she enjoyed the costumes, and it was actually dope. Um, and I didn't realize that there were actually a lot of carnivals going on over the last week. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
Yeah. Carnival season is kicked off.
yeah, man, yeah, definitely, it's definitely kicked off. And for those that don't know, Carnival is like the Mardi Gras, right? It's the Mardi Gras, I guess, of the islands, should they say, right? And it was, no, man, it was cool, man. It was just dope, man. Festive, the family enjoyed it. It was a good time, man. Good time.
That's what's up, man. Now, how did the little one react to the music? As I know there was some soca play. I mean, did her head nod any? How did she receive the Caribbean experience?
I mean, she did a little couple, shoulder shrugs and did her, she does her own little version of the gritty, you know. So she was just enjoying, man. She took it all in, and it was a beautiful day too, man. The sun was out, had a nice little breeze, and we weren't baking. Like it was a good time for her, man. I think she thoroughly enjoyed it, and it's cool though, because again, for those that that are parents, that listen to the show, I'll say that one thing I've noticed is that we've been fortunate enough to travel a considerable amount with her. You know,
Okay.
various islands. She's been to different continents. You know, she has a lot of stamps. You know, in her passport. And she may even have more than some adults do, right? And being able to experience
True.
that now, I think is kind of dope because I've seen so much growth in her. You know what I'm saying? I've seen, even just from her walking, right? And walking over different terrains, whether it's sand, cobblestone, gravel road, dirt road, whatever it may be. I mean, her balance is A1. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just dope. But just seeing that part of growth, trying different foods, she's not afraid of a little spice.
Okay.
She doesn't just eat ketchup. I mean, she is into this whole dipping thing right now. That she does like condiments at the moment, but she likes flavor. She likes
Yeah.
she's not a child that is going to eat a chicken nugget. Now she does like French fries because she likes the whole dipping things.
Yeah.
But nah, she likes flavor. She likes seafood. She likes she likes lamb type of thing. Like it's interesting how obviously she won't eat a lot of red meat. We just don't do that. But yeah, man, I see the growth, and I do feel that traveling has contributed a lot to that.
Okay.
So it's been cool, man. Like the little one, I mean, like I said, she just like her dad. She two steps, She just bobs and weaves, and just be chilling, man. So
Keeps it
laid
simple.
back.
I like it.
So it's been cool, man. It's like you said, we had a couple actually more trips this year, right? That nothing's crazier than coming back from a trip in the midst of traveling back, planning the next trip. So
Nothing wrong with that, man.
So I think that's dope. But again, I just look forward to more trips and more good times underneath the sun, man. She loves the water. And one thing is she was born on I think it attributes to, I know some people are kind of skeptical on, zodiacs and birthdays, moons, times, days, and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I do find it interesting that she was born on Earth Day. And she loves the water. She loves being outside. She loves touching textures of leaves and trees and stuff like that. So just seeing that personality start to evolve and, carry her light, man, it's been dope. It's been dope, man. It's been dope. But
So tell me, man, did y'all get a chance to drive around or ride around the island? Because one of the things that I noticed about Aruba the last time we were down there is, one, I think in that whole country, I only came across one traffic light. It was just a whole bunch of roundabouts.
yeah,
And you can get from one side of the island to the other side of the island probably maybe 30, no more than 45 minutes, because it is a small island. I know they call it the one happy island, but the weather there is like the same year round. It's always like 85 degrees and sunny, man. It's the perfect weather.
yeah. Nah, unfortunately we get to experience having our own personal car driving around, but we went from one side, we went down obviously downtown. We were obviously on the water. We was we were between Palm Beach, Eagle Beach, and that whole little strip down there. So it was cool. I mean, and I can't even tell you if that was the whole island, but again, I think and back to the airport. So I think we covered a decent amount. And you're right. Now I think about it, I don't think there was one traffic place all roundabouts.
Exactly.
I mean, all roundabouts. It's crazy. Like it's all roundabouts. So yeah, man. I don't know. It was definitely dope. I will say it was one of our more relaxing, vacations, and that felt good just to, decompress, unwind. You know what I'm saying? It was a good time. Great time.
That's what's up, man. And I'm glad that you all got to sneak away from the very interesting yet unique DC winter. Because remember, I was back in town for a week, and I got to experience you know, a little bit of fall / spring like weather, and then it rolled right into winter, man. It reminded me that it was time to get back to the desert.
Yeah, man. I think even a couple of days. I think what was it? It was on Super Bowl Sunday. You're even able to experience the mix between the fall and the spring. So you had all 4 seasons.
Exactly. Because I didn't really pack any heavy type coats. I was moving around with hoodies and a jacket. But yeah, Super Bowl Sunday, it definitely. I think the high was like 30 degrees and rain. And, I was riding around in the Expo. And, the Expo is coming up on I think come this September. I think the Expo will be 25 years old, and I didn't realize that the heat wasn't working in the Expo until Super Bowl Sunday. I'm riding around with a hoodie on and a hat, hands freezing, gripping the steering wheel. But it's funny because when I was ready to go drop the Expo back off, I think my last 10 minutes on the road, that's when the heat started working. And I was like, "Are you serious?" Like I've been on the road 4 hours and now the heat wants to kick in. I was like, oh man, but it was cool though, man. I'm glad that I did get to see the Super Bowl at a normal hour. Got to check it out, in the evening and then head back and pack up. But that Super Bowl game, man, that was definitely worth extending the trip, another day or two to catch it because that was a phenomenal game.
And I will say, I will have to agree with you with that. I agree with you on that. The Super Bowl, I think this year's Super Bowl is probably one of the best I've seen.
Yeah.
I think it was entertaining. It was, no blowout. It was the right amount of scores, which, made every quarter, every play, a nail biter. So yeah, man, it was a phenomenal Super Bowl. I'll give you that. So it's cool to see two brothers in the Super Bowl leading their teams. During Black History Month. So it was cool, man. It was super dope. I thoroughly enjoyed this Super Bowl.
Now, what did you think about the Super Bowl halftime show? So I know a lot of folks were talking about, Rihanna, because Rihanna hadn't performed for a while. She hadn't put out any new music. She's kind of been, pushing her brand, with her makeup line and, starting her family and, raising her family and growing her family.
Yeah.
So what did you think about the Super Bowl halftime show?
First of all, I will sit there and say it's probably like 6 or 7 of us watching it. And all of a sudden, one of my guys, they were like, "Hey, did y'all peep how she keeps rubbing her stomach?" And I'm not gonna lie, it's probably like 5 minutes into it, man. It's probably like 5-6 minutes into it. And all of a sudden we were like, "Nah, what are you talking about?" And then we started really watching, and we're like, "Oh shit," you know what I'm saying? She's gripping her stomach. And I thought that was dope, man, because quite honestly, I think for her to I felt the show was decent, right? I think some people say that the Super Bowl show could have been better, more entertaining, but I'm sitting there thinking about everything, right? I think the songs she played, or the songs she played were solid songs. I think it hit something for everybody.
Yeah.
I think that knowing her circumstance, I don't know what else anyone would expect. I mean, she's pregnant, you know what I'm saying? And she's suspending from the air, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Like, you gotta give her a break. I think it was a phenomenal. I enjoyed the show because I actually enjoyed the songs that she played.
Yeah.
She couldn't be jumping up in the air and what I'm saying, doing everything like that. Nah, like I think she played it right. I think she did a phenomenal job. And then a lot of people are talking about, well, I guess we're not gonna hear another album from her again. But I think obviously she got a lot on her horizon, and I respect the fact that she's a powerful woman. A woman, great at her craft, and still focused on her family.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
yeah,
love
yeah.
I love that part of about it. Like I've gained, I a lot of respect, for her, and all she does for the culture, but she does for her family. So I respect it, man. And for that, I know we haven't even started yet, but for that, I gotta give it toast, man. Just to, definitely, like I say, another episode, another week, all that good time, man. But definitely to Rihanna and that Super Bowl performance, man. I think it was dope. So that's my thought on it. What do you think about it?
Cheers. Now, I agree with you. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, the first, like you said, first 5, 7 minutes or so, I was like, all right, man, what's going on? She's just gonna stay in one spot. But, I mean, as the show went on and noticed the baby bump, I was like, okay, that makes sense. And then I also said at the same time, I said, well, I really have a lot of respect for her because I mean, pregnancy, I mean, it can be it can take a lot out of you, especially with the energy. So for her to get up there and still honor her commitment and perform in the show, I mean that says a lot about her. And
Yeah.
you are absolutely right, man. The song selections were they were on point. Now I'm not gonna lie, I did think at one point I thought maybe Ye was gonna pop out because she was hitting a lot of songs that she collaborated with Ye, and I was like, oh, is she gonna bring that man out of the Super Bowl? And she does. I'm thinking, all right, now what is that going to mean? With all the
Yeah.
I don't want to say controversy, but with all the air, surrounding him right now, and I mean, folks trying to distance themselves from her. So
Yeah. I thought she was going. Honestly, man, I thought she was going to bring out Jay, man. I thought. That's what the tough part is. During that time, she came out with those songs. With the last, 2 or 3 songs she performed. She hit what Umbrella. You know what I'm saying? I thought she was gonna. I thought Jay was gonna come out, especially after he hit it with the. He made 4 or 5 billionaires. I thought Jay was gonna come out for that, especially all what he's done also for the culture, right? And
yeah,
you know what I'm saying, and his mark in NFL that he's done. So I thought that was, again, she didn't need anyone else to help carry the show. She did her thing. She did her thing. So I can't even be mad at her, man. But it would have been cool if, I'm not gonna lie. If Jay came out, it would have been interesting if Ye came out. But you're right; those are the only 2 people I thought would have come out.
and it is also pretty slick how she was marketing her makeup.
Yeah,
Because when she took that little split and they popped it open and she kind of touched herself up, I was like, okay, I see the marketing. I understand what you all did with the I think she did a collaboration with Mitchell and Ness before the Super Bowl. So my God, you got that going. You got highlight the makeup. So I was like, okay, I see you utilizing this platform to also highlight and push your business. So I respect her, and I see why she has that B behind her name. That billionaire, because she is definitely about her business.
she brought that action, man. I respect it. I can't be mad at her, man. I thought it was dope. I thought it was super dope. I thoroughly enjoyed the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl this year was good. I know people were talking about where the Pepsi and Dorito commercials. I think they had a couple different commercials this year. But again, I think people really. I was at least focused on the game and the halftime show.
Yeah, no, same here. I caught a couple of the commercials and trailer clips for a couple of new movies coming out, but yeah, the game definitely had me locked in. I wasn't trying to step away from the screen, take any breaks during the game, because it's like every play kind of had you on the edge of the seats. I remember when Mahomes went down, I was like, oh man, okay, this game may be a wrap. Second half, maybe able to head back to the hotel early, and start packing. But he came back out, ordered some wings. I was like, okay, this is
Yeah.
we got action. We got action.
Yeah. Funny you say. Speaking of a break, man, I think everyone was talking about that Tubi commercial. That's one thing that I'm not gonna lie. I think it got just about everybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting there, and I'm kind of snapping on folks like, get off the remote. Who got the remote? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, yo, get off the remote. Come on. And it was perfect timing too. Like it was a solid gotcha. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, I even started tapping my wife, like, yo, get off the remote. You sitting on the remote. The whole time remote's in front of me. And I'm like, oh, okay. Got me. All right, cool. That thing was dope, man. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
That was classic, man. I was watching the game and I was in a local Lebanese shisha spot. And I mean, you should have heard the people yelling at management about the TV because they thought the same thing, man. So I mean, just watching that all unfold, I was like, okay, they got it right with that commercial because it really caused probably 15 seconds of chaos because people were like, hey, what's going on here, man? But it was
Facts.
they did it.
Facts. Nah, that was dope, man. Like I said, man, Super Bowl. I thought that was a good time, man. That was a good time. And going back to it, like I said, you know, and I predicted what I wanted to happen, right? I said I don't want them to win, but I do want him to break a record, which he did break a record. So
Yeah, he did.
First quarterback to have 3 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah.
You know, so that was dope. You know, that was super dope. So, yeah, man, that was a good game, man. Like you said, Mahomes came out and they were just slinging them things, man. So,
yeah,
you know, everyone's thing was solid. So it was a solid game, man. Definitely one to remember.
It was good times. And now you know we had another pregnancy reveal this week that kind of caught me off guard. As I didn't know anything about it until I happened to scroll past a picture, and I kind of had to do a double take. So your girl, the Brat,
yeah,
has announced her pregnancy. With her wife, and like I said, I mean that one came out of left field because I just saw the braids and the big belly. So I was like, okay, what's going on here? But I guess they are expanding their family as well.
Yeah. That definitely took me by surprise. You know what I'm saying? So, but definitely big up to them. And I mean, I think life and giving life and all that great stuff, man. I think that's just a phenomenal. I think that's an out of this world thing, right? For them just to be able to carry life, you know what I'm saying, and how we generate and grow life. I think it's just dope. So big up to that. It's always a blessing, and so hats off to the Brad and was it big, you know what I'm saying? Like that was a nice surprise as well. Like I said, I hats off to anyone who embraces that.
Yeah.
So nah, man, yeah, it's been, like you said, it's been an eventful week, man. And like you said, I know we talked about that, and then one thing that's been coming up, man, like I think we always talk about him being in the news, and obviously this us, everyone talks about it, right? But recently, in the news, it's been speaking of Rihanna, Chris Breezy.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, he's been in the news a lot lately, man, and it's since he started his show. Actually, what started the comment was, I'm never going to perform in the Grammys, or, I'm never going to be at the Grammys because the Grammys don't respect me, or the states don't respect me. I forgot exactly what the quote was, but what I'm saying, he took his show overseas.
Yeah.
What I'm hearing, that shit is going bananas right now.
Yeah, I'm hearing the same thing. Because I know he he put some comments out there, about about the past, and I know he was I think Blueface that he kind of poked that man in the eye a little bit, because he was talking about his situation, that had been 17 years, and people aren't letting him move past that. and how, society and the media, seem to be glamorizing,
Yeah.
Blueface and his lady, and some of the situations and altercations that they have.
Yeah, and I that's why I say, man, I feel like I agree with I agree with Chris Brown. I agree with the fact that I think he made a very valid point. Y'all on his ass about something that happened 17 years ago, and they keep on glorifying the mistakes he has done. But quite honestly, man, he's been kind of chill lately, if you ask me. Like, he's just been putting out music, kind of living his life. He's young, he's got a,
Yeah,
dang load of money. Like, he's chilling, you know what I'm saying? He got that bag. So, but at the same
exactly.
time, I think he's done a great job of keeping up the news, but I think the shit just keeps following him.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if
I
he's
agree.
able to escape it. It sucks, right? But I'm not gonna lie, that whole Blueface thing, I don't like to comment on other people's life, but I'm not gonna lie, I agree with Chris, man. Folks gotta stop glorifying that, because that's unhealthy. It's my opinion. You may not like it. I can't help you on that, but at no time do I think two human beings should be putting their hands on each other, especially, what I'm saying, that's the way they show love and stuff like that. Like, we all got our love languages, but nah, man, that's not needed, right? And
Yeah,
I just can't respect that. I can't respect either party, but definitely, what I'm saying, a man that does that. But they keep on, poking the bear, what I'm saying? They keep on poking each other, and
yeah,
that's just they're the definition of toxic.
yeah. I think if and I agree with you. I don't like commenting on other people's relationships or situations, but when you keep putting stuff out there, it's kind of hard not to weigh in and have an opinion on it.
Yeah,
And especially because you're not hearing rumors of it. You're actually seeing it. So I mean that's like a game changer. But definitely don't condone how they interact with each other, because like you said, on no level is that cool, or is that something that should be glorified?
yeah, nah, fact.
But
Yeah,
I think we're at a point in time where society, they drama is what sells. And it's something that can be marketed, something that can be talked about, and it's a shame that a situation like that is getting so much constant attention.
yeah,
Because the more you see something, the more you kind of get used to something and immune to it and numb to it and desensitized to it. And we should never get to the point of where situations like that are okay, because that's
yeah.
just
Man, and I don't know. We've all seen. I mean, we've all seen He Got Game, right? It's like it's that situation where I don't think people just realize, and we're all in this scenario, right? We're all one split second from a life changing event, right? And so, it's sad that um, they just don't understand that, man. It's like they just
yeah.
don't. I mean, their stuff gets nasty, right? Their stuff
Oh,
gets.
yeah, yeah,
It's like you say, it's televised. It's all captured. It's folks on ground. The blood's leaking. Like, it's just, I don't know, man. I just can't fuck with it, man. It's a
no,
bad, and they just don't understand. And it's sad that they just don't understand how. I'm gonna call it luck, man. And luck runs out, man. Luck does run out, and
yeah,
it's sad to say, man. I'm praying and hoping nothing happens. Hopefully they can wake up and truly love each other if that's what they want to do. But they just gotta chill. But then even Blueface, what I'm saying, in his description, like, who'd he get mad at? He got mad at Lil Baby. You know what I'm saying? Because Lil Baby said, I'm Big Brother, and he was like, well, if you really want to hang out with her, show me that bag. Like, he's pimping her. He's just. I don't know, man. I think they're just young and reckless, man, and hopefully he's able to, you know, see the brighter picture one day.
you're right, man. And talking about split second from life changing decisions. I saw this week a couple of reports about Adidas, because remember Adidas parted ways with Ye after all of his
Yeah,
statements. I think Adidas may be poised this year to lose roughly, I think, $1 billion,
yeah, yeah,
which is big, because when they first, parted ways with Ye, they were saying, oh, well, we still have, the Yeezys. We're just going to, take his name off of it and, things like that. But it's showing, product isn't moving. And I think
yeah,
even, Balenciaga and JP Morgan, I think, they're going through some financial turmoil. So, it really shows how impactful, he was, to their brands and,
yeah.
distancing themselves, I guess, some of the fallout as a result. And there's even a rumor that Adidas may be trying to rekindle their relationship with him.
Yeah, I mean, it makes you think about. It makes me think, right? You think about they do have some solid technology. You know what I'm saying, like that moon foam or whatever they call it. But if you think about Adidas, I think some of their biggest pushers, you know what I'm saying, that got them really moving. I'm gonna say Run DMC. I'm gonna say Beyonce and Kanye.
Okay.
And we talked about it a while back about is hip hop dead, you know what I'm saying? And hip hop, I think, evolves, and it's all about the culture, you know what I'm saying? It's everything that's engulfed in. Like hip hop is it's an umbrella for many things, right? So, I think that Run DMC, people still wearing the original, shell toes, they're wearing the tracksuits, but
Yeah.
they can have a million shoes in inventory, but if you realize, man, if you don't got that Kanye brand on it for what we already know, the 750s, 450s, 350s, whatever it is, if you don't got them, attached to it, just, and I think it will be corny if people buy it too. You know what I'm saying? I think that's fucked up too, right?
Yeah.
I know a lot of people like, man, I ain't buying no Yeezys, this, that, and the third, whoop-de-whoop. Shut up. You know what I'm saying? Like, the only reason why you're talking about it because they are Yeezys, because you wouldn't buy them either way. So other than that, ain't nobody really trying to hear shit you talking about. So that's how I feel about it, and so it would only behoove them to rekindle that if they're trying to recoup that $1 billion. So I agree. This
Yeah.
happens, and again, it goes back to what we said. Kanye made a valid point, and that's why I say I think he makes excellent points. I think what he says has some validity to it, but I do say that I think people are starting to realize, is that we believe in ourselves, man. We have that juice. We are the juice. That's who we are. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, that's what's going to sell. That's why these little kids, these, rich little neighborhoods, low income neighborhood, whatever, you know what I'm saying, want to buy his stuff because of what it's tied to, what it's associated with, and it's associated with the culture.
That's valid.
So hopefully Adidas wakes up and realize, like, as much as you talk shit and talk about what, you all are going to be able to move forward and this, that, and third without him. I'm glad Kanye was able to show folks that what he said has some truth to it. You ain't gonna own me. I am the product.
It's true. It'll be interesting to see how this develops, because and losing $1 billion. That hurts. That hurts. I know you're talking about taking a dip in profit. Maybe a couple million, but $1 billion. That's aggressive in any bottom line of a business.
Yeah, that starts changing the ticket, right? That starts changing the value of it, right? That starts changing all that. So yeah, you're right. But guess what? Proof is in the pudding. He did it, and so I really would love, and as we always ask for people to comment and give your thoughts. What you thinking about now about what Kanye said? Do you think there was any truth to it? Do you think that, his messaging could have just been delivered differently, but what he said has some truth to it? What? I want to know. We want to know, and the people want to know. So please drop some comments and let us know what you thought you think about it.
That's definitely valid, man. So what else is going on, man?
That's the big thing. Obviously, if we get back into just what's going on in the world now. Now the Super Bowl's over. We in the real part of the season of the NBA is now when it matters. It counts. Had the All-Star game. Folks is talking about that dude Mac, and it's. I was talking to my boy the other day. And he made a good comment, man. He said, no matter what, whenever you're in a certain kind of limelight, you're gonna get some slack. No matter what, what I'm saying, you got to prove folks wrong. And I'm not gonna lie, man. I mean, for this dude to be in the G League, what I'm saying, I thought he did a decent job. You can't hate, and he's been doing it for a while too.
Yeah, he has.
So. Again, I know somebody made a comments like, how you gonna let this dude win during Black History Month? Like, shut up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a sport, right? It's the dude showed up and he did his thing, man. Like, he's just not everything has to fall back to that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta meet people where they at, and I think he did his thing on that. So, other than that, man, it was solid. I thought it was interesting though that they let them pick their teams, like supposed to be pick their teams right then and there. Like they did a pickup game, so that was interesting.
Different. Yeah,
definitely different. So it was cool though, man. I think, there's so much going on. I think there is, like I said, we not in our last season because you got basketball, you got baseball and stuff like that. So. Still a good time. But other than that, man, that's just where we at. Now is that we're going to see who's going to make it to the playoffs then, the championship for that. We got March Madness about to come up. So, yeah, it's right around the corner. But other than that, that's kind of where it's at. What you got?
Well, I do have slight confession, being that, the weekend, it was a holiday weekend. President's Day was on Monday. Mm-hmm. So, we have a very, good friend who hosts an event out here every Sunday, called Just Friends. It's a nice, little, Caribbean, vibes, so we went to go check him out. And one of the DJs, of course, they mix in, Afro beats and, mix in, a little hip hop. And I caught myself, I was at the table, my shoulders were, moving around, and I realized that I was dancing and vibing to Ice Spice. And it probably hit me like a minute into the song, I think it definitely was, it was the beat and, it was the bass line. I was like, oh man, this right here is nice. Until I started really listening to the words, and I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I'm over dancing to Ice Spice. I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't know, man. I think that's like borderline, like, when we talk about, how do you say this, when you start talking about the shorts that go a little bit too high above your knee, we talk about a couple of things. So I'm glad you were able to confess that and comfortable in your skin. You know what I'm saying?
I had to get in front of it, man. Had to get in front of it.
I'm glad you got in front of it because I'm just waiting to see a video of it so that that'd be a good one right there.
Yeah. Now, as far as I know, it was not captured in any photographic or videographic, form that I'm aware of. And if it is, I'm gonna find out who has it, so that way I can pay for the rights to that material and then burn it.
I hear you. And speaking of rights to videos, right, and having evidence, man, I want to go back to that Chris Brown thing, what I'm saying, just to get on that. I don't know, you seen that video about the girl talking about how he doesn't allow, any black girls around him or whatever doing his show or his party whatsoever?
Yeah, I've heard the the rumor in the past. And I mean, it's been something that's, it's come up, a few times, but, I don't know if I really have, a leg to stand on, if it's valid or not, because I remember when he was, doing those fan meetings, where you could take a picture with him for like $1,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In those pictures, I saw all kind of complexions.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And this is my thought, right? And so now, let's really talk about it, right? I think it's kind of fucked up that why can't this man just like who he likes, right? I mean, I'm not saying shunning anyone out of just being around your vicinity, right? But I'm saying like if the man likes, what I'm saying, fair skin, you know what I'm saying, or, what some folks call what is she's, because you don't know what someone's nationality is,
Yeah.
I don't think nothing's wrong with that. I don't know why this man can't live, but I also think people just need to, shut up because it's not fair. Like the man is still a man. Like he's still a human. You know what I'm saying? He likes what he likes. No one get mad when, women are date outside their race, this, that, and third. But I feel like for people to have comments and just be negative and just try to put a label on folks, and that's a lie. Because even, I remember that one video, she even said, that wasn't, in the first clip, it was very, very, very distinctive that she was talking about Chris Brown.
Yeah.
Then another clip shows, well, it wasn't directed to Chris Brown. Again, shut the fuck up. You can't be more direct than that.
Yeah, no, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? You can't be more direct than that. But the man's just living, man. He's just chilling. He's just, living his life. You know what I'm saying? He likes who he likes what he wants. He does what he needs to do, and he's doing his thing. I think people just need to, again, I'm going to say it again, I'm going to say it again, I'm going to say it again. Just get off the man's back, man. Let him live. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because while you still watching him on TV, he's out here doing his thing. So I fuck with him. I ain't got no issue with it. But I do think people need to be mindful. As I always say, words have power.
Yeah, they do.
So, no, man, that's what it was. Another good thing in the news, I know we don't get into it a lot. We don't really get into the whole justice system and stuff like that. But, not to even mention his name, but the dude who shot up that grocery store, man.
Yeah.
I thought that was, hearing the judge, make their speech, or their closing remark. I was happy about that. I was happy that they put the clamp down on that man. You know what I'm saying, or that boy, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying, but for somebody to go out there and for what they got with no possibility of parole, I think that's, to me personally, and I don't know how you feel, but me personally, I do think giving someone life without the possibility of parole is better than giving someone the death penalty.
Yeah. I mean, especially when you look at, a person's age, because if you're going to be confined, for another 50 to 60 years, every day, you're kind of reminded of, what you did and where you are. So, no, I think in some situations, that is a fitting penalty.
Because you gotta live it, like you said. Every day, forever, how many days and years, every day, you gotta live with the decision that you made. And you gotta obviously your surroundings will constantly remind you of what happened.
Yeah.
And how you got there. Then it gives you time to reflect. Now you got a long ass time to sit down and reflect on it.
This is true.
So I'm cool with that. I'm glad about that. That was good, solid stuff right there. So other than that, man, time's good. Just got back, like I said, son, and a lot of stuff is going on, man. So
yeah. I see the weather forecast, for the DMV. I mean, they're talking about 80 degrees this week, in the middle of, I guess the tail end of February. February has gone by.
Yeah.
Like the blink of an eye, because I could have sworn that, you know, we were just, you know, welcoming in February, and, you know, now we're, you know, less than a week away from, you know, March, you know, so February is definitely, you know, flew by. But 80 degrees in the DMV, you know, during the week. You know, I know happy hours are going to be insane. You know, everybody's going to be, you know, outside moving around, because that's happy hour weather right there. I mean, that's reason to come outside.
You're right about that, but the crazy thing is, it's supposed to be 80 degrees this week, but it's supposed to snow over the, you know what I'm saying, in the days. So I don't know, man. You just, I don't know what to do, man. You know what I'm saying? You just,
I mean, you know how it happens, man. If you see a, you know, a nice summery, you know, type day in the DMV during wintertime, you know, snow is not too far behind. You know, I know I saw the, you know, weather forecast, and I think they were talking about, you know, like Minnesota, you know, make it up to, you know, 2 feet of snow. I'm like, oof. That's rough right there. But yeah, I mean, it makes sense. You know, warm day, yes, snow behind it. I would say, you know, if it's going to hit 80, you know, definitely, I mean, get out there and enjoy it. But just know, you know, right behind it, you know, get ready to hunker back down, because old man winter is still creeping around the yard.
Facts. Old man winter, man. Stay around. You know what I'm saying? So. But nah, man, the weather's about to be nice, man. DMV's about to be live. You know, like I said, we'll talk about all the time. There's a lot of events coming up, you know, and yeah, man, it's DMV's about to be jumping, man.
Yeah, because I think CIAA weekend, I think that kicks off this weekend as well. I mean, so I know they moved up from North Carolina up to Baltimore, so I've seen you know, a couple of folks, you know, hosting, you know, events and parties for that. So yeah, I mean, it looks like it's going to be a good weekend, man.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. Shout out to HU, the real HU, Hampton. You y'all know, no question on that. You know what I'm saying? They about to go in there and do what they got to do. So, yeah, man, you know, all around, man, shit is good. Shit is good. So, CIAA, that's going to be interesting up there. But you know, it's funny though. You do realize that's one thing. I think, you know, we'll talk about this later. What's your thoughts about the connection between Baltimore and, you know, DMV and Maryland, right? So when you think about Baltimore, how it's just completely night and day from the DMV, even though Baltimore is in the M part of DMV. You know what I'm saying? It's just they're not DMV, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? But Baltimore is gonna be a good time.
And you know, and that's that makes me think of two things. I mean, one, you know, I mean, you're right. I mean, the night and day difference between, you know, Baltimore and you know, even, you know, PG and DC is night and day, even though it's 30, 40 minutes away, you know, depending upon how you drive and how traffic is, what day you're driving, all that good stuff. You know, so it is different, but it goes to the definition of DMV. Because, you know, when I think about DMV, you know, of course, you know, you got DC, which is, you know, self-explanatory. And I think about, you know, Maryland and Virginia, you know, all the areas that kind of touch, you know, DC, you know, whether it be, you know, PG, you know, Moco, Alexandria, you know, Arlington. You know, when folks start, you know, trying to lump, you know, like Richmond and Frederick, you know, into the DMV, I'm like, or Annapolis. I'm like, nah, I really don't.
No.
I don't see that, you know, and I think that, you know, people try to use that broad stroke, you know, to try to capture, you know, I mean, all three jurisdictions, you know, where, you know, historically, in my opinion, and again, you know, we're highly opinionated individuals, and if you have a different opinion, definitely hearing that. But, you know, I think it's everything that, you know, that touches, you know, around the DC area.
Yeah, no, I agree. You got a certain proximity of what the DMV is, right? And you know, that's kind of what it is, unfortunately. So, but like you said, shout out to the CIAA. That's going to be dope. B More's going to be live, you know. So, You don't know. Maybe check us out on our live. You may catch a quick glimpse of a couple of events out there. So check us out.
Indeed, and you know, and I don't want to knock my Baltimore folks, you know, as I did do some time up in Baltimore, you know, when I was at the Morgan State University, you know, so definitely, you know, have you know, good times and, you know, good folks, you know, up in Baltimore. It's just, you know, we don't consider you, you know, a part of the DMV, and you know, I think some B-more folks are cool with that because,
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
sure.
B-more has its own identity. I mean, you know, they have
Sure.
their own, you know, style of dress, you know, have their own, you know, with the Baltimore club music, you know, I mean, they have their own swag,
For sure. For
you
sure.
know, so I don't think that I'm saying anything that's, you know, insulting or putting anyone down. We're just showing that, you know, I mean, different areas, you know, I mean, do different things. And, you know, it is, you know, a big difference between, you know, someone from Baltimore and, you know, someone from DC or from PG, you know.
For sure. Nah, for sure. Like you said, man, I got a lot of respect for Baltimore. Baltimore's cool. I got some cool folks out there myself, man, and there's some thorough folks out there, man. I definitely know some good ones out there. So shout out to Be More. You know what I'm saying? They're about to show out this week, you know, for the tournament, and it's gonna be a good time, man. And they got a couple cool events, you know. I know they got a Henny and Waffles party and stuff like that. So they got some pretty cool stuff going on.
Yeah.
So check the folks. So my man KJ, he doing his thing out there. So check him out and check his whole entertainment group and folks out, man. They throw a nice little event out there. So check them out if you out in the Be More area.
Yes, sir. Well, you know, I know you can't see it because, you know, right now the sun is coming up in front of me. But, you know, before we get out of here, you know, any last thoughts, any comments, or, you know, when we're wrapping up, you know, conference calls, you know, the 9 to 5, you know, any alibis, you know, anything else you want to put out there?
Nah, man, just one of those things, man. People need to wash their mouth, man. People just need to, you know, sit there and put positive energy out there and stop always trying to cancel each other, man. You know what I'm saying? Focus on the good stuff in life, man. Because there's so much out there, man. This world is huge, man. And, you know, there's a lot of it out there, man. And everyone can get a piece of it, man. So I just been reflecting on that. That's why I say, man, that trip, man, it was a good one because it allowed you to, you know, really just slow down and chill. You know, most times when you go out to an island or go on any vacation, you're like, all right, you know, what do we got to do next? You have a solid routine, you know, a schedule plan. The shit was perfect, man. It was one of those things that allowed me to realize, like, there's a lot out there. There's a lot out there, man. And y'all just need to, you know what I mean, people need to wash their mouth and just celebrate people, man. Give them their flowers while they're here, man, because you never know. So that's where I'm at with it, man.
Agreed, man. Well, you know, not too much going on this side. You know, I know I say it often, you know, but we got some, you know, some folks coming in this weekend. You know, so we're trying to get them, you know, set up with, you know, a fair amount of, you know, tourist attractions, but, you know, also give them that Dubai experience, you know, so getting ready for that to do some hosting. I think over the next, over the next 2 weeks. And I think we've got, I think at least, you know, 14 people coming out. You know, got a party of, 12. Got a party of 2 coming out, and got a party of 10 coming out. So
damn.
Yeah, man. So putting on that, you know, that hospitality cap, you know, and, you know, getting ready to move around. But other than that, man, that's about it. I mean, like you said, gonna start watching some NBA games, you know.
Yeah.
NFL is done, you know, basketball. I'm glad they got night games, you know, so I'll definitely be watching a lot of the, you know, the late games.
Yeah.
You know, I'll catch them in the morning over my coffee. But I mean, other than that, that's about it, man. That's about it.
No, that's what's up. That's definitely what's up, man. This is always, man. It's you know, I'm glad that, you know, and you know, my shows are on, you know, Snowfall's back on, you know, Your Honor, it's not disappointing me. Godfather of New York or Harlem ain't disappointing. And again, BMF is still going strong, man. So it's still got some good stuff on, man. It's a good time, man. It's a good time to be alive, man.
It is, man. So once again, shout out to Shisha to you. Don't forget you can follow them on IG. You can follow us on Twitter at In the Bowl Pod. We mention it all the time, but just to remind you, we are two highly opinionated individuals. Love to hear the opinions of others. So if we said something that struck a chord with you, definitely, hit us up in the comments. Give us your thoughts, your feedback, and we'll interact, and we'll go from there.
Facts.
And last but not least, don't forget to keep those hookahs clean after every use. Just go ahead and rinse it out, so that way the next time you're ready to smoke, everything's all set up. So until next time, we appreciate y'all for rocking with us.
And as always, click, like, and subscribe.